are sitting in the race car here, and we're going to try and do a little video on installing the Tach. May try to do a little more on putting some other things in it. I don't know. We still got to do the trans brake, the switches for the fans. I'd like to put a switch box up here, but right now we're going to try to figure out somewhere where to mount our Tach. We did have this one right here mounted on this windshield post. It was up here kind of like this. We got a different Tach this time, a lot better, a lot nicer with a big shift light. We're going to try to find a place to put it. Don't really want to go on the dash because you kind of sit low in this car, and if you put it on the dash right there, you may actually be in the way of the tree in some places. So we're kind of thinking about putting it up here where we're going to put our switch panel, because I want to do a switch box. I don't know if I'll get to or not. Then we may look about putting it back over here. I'm going to try to decide here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we got it mounted right here. I think we're going to kind of mount it right there, because sitting here in the car, if you mount it right there on the dash, I'm afraid you're going to be in the way of the tree some places. And as big as the Tach is, the same thing if we mount it where our old one was. The old one was kind of smaller, so it set way down in here. But that one's a lot thicker with a shift light, so it's going to kind of stick right up in here. So I'm going to kind of think of mounting it right there, because for the shift, we only got one shift because of power glide, and that's going to light it up enough that you don't need to be watching the Tach to shift. And installing, if you use a trans brake, you're not going to have to look at your stall, but if you're foot braking, you know, you can glance at your stall if you're in the left lane, get it stalled up, boom, there's a tree. Get it stalled up, boom, there's a tree. You know, maybe a little further over here if you're running right, but I like to run left anyway because everybody else wants to run right, seems like. So we're going to try to get it wired up now and see if we can get it working. Okay, if you run a 6AL box, pretty simple for the Tach wire. We've got a connector on. Just plugs in here inside of the box to the side, Tach wire. Plug it in, and then we're going to run it up and run it inside the car. We're going to run it along everything, get it kind of tied up nice and neat, and get it run inside. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but we already got a little rubber grommet right there with one wire going through. So we took a drill, and on the very edge of the grommet, the hole, we drilled us another hole to run this wire through. That way it won't be rubbing up against any metal or anything to short out. Okay, we got our wires here. Our green is our Tach operation, goes to the MSD box. The white is for the gauge light. Then your red to your switch, and your black to your ground. So we're going to run them up along this right here and kind of down the post, kind of keep them back out of the way. So I'll start wiring them up. Okay, Tach's mounted in place. Got the wires run down the post. We got our Tach wire hooked up. Now I got to hook up the hot and the light, and we'll be able to crank this baby and see if it's working. Okay, we got it wired up. Got our hot wire on the fuse panel down there. Got our light wire to the switch right there. I may want to do something different. I just kind of put that switch in there for right now. Let's see if this thing will crank and see if it works. Looks like it works. Now we just got to get everything else hooked up, but that's how you wire your Tach up. So we mounted it. We run our green as the Tach wire, red is our hot wire, white is our light wire, and black is our ground. Simple as that. Like I said, if you got MSD box, if you don't have MSD box, you'll just run the green one to your coil. So that's got the Tach wired up. Hope everyone has a good day.